looks like I'm black. Gonna go back to focusing on the just overly defending. I think I'll just enclose. Nice and solid. He can approach, he can enclose, he approaches. Here you can play the Kasumi, pretty strong. There is a chance it can get weak later. I like this one just because it gives you some points in the corner, and that means eye shape. So it's very hard for this to die. He has to make a base, or he should make a base. Okay. We can approach, or we can also approach here. We don't have any weak groups, so either way should be fine. I kind of like this one, just because he can only defend one corner. So if he fixes one corner, then we approach the other. And this kick isn't so good because he's making us stronger, and he still has a weak point here. So normally when you play this extension, if you want territory, it's better to play low. And if you want the influence, then you play high. Okay, so he took one corner, so now we can approach. He kicks, okay. And since we're not really caring about influence here, we're going to play a base on the third line, which is more territorial and a little bit easier to handle. He shoulder hits, okay, I like that. Not sure which way I want to go. I think it doesn't really matter. So we'll push up here because this is kind of helping defend the corner. And then I'm just going to slide here because I want to reduce his potential over here while staying connected. And he can try and cut this off, but it seems a bit difficult. I'm going to peep here once just to see what he does. Because now, yeah, he has a heavy group. But I don't want my weak group to get cut off. So we're just going to try and connect the best way we can. And now we're back to no weak groups. We don't want to run with this stone because then we're going to give ourselves a heavy group, and we don't want that. So instead, I'm going to again try and stay as connected as possible and try and reduce, maybe attack. It depends on what he does. Like if we get to push here and Hane, he only has one eye here. And again, we can peep and peep. And now he only has one eye. We have no weak groups. This stone is kind of light because we played this stone for this stone. We're focused more on defending for this video. So this is probably my weakest group. All of these stones are pretty much connected. So there's not really any evasions or any way for anything to get cut off. This corner is also pretty strong because he can't really jump in here or cut anything off. This group, however, there is a weak point here. He can invade here, he can play down here. There is some weaknesses. So I think we're just going to jump here because we're helping fix those weaknesses. And then the side effect here is we're getting stronger in the center, which could potentially make this group weaker. Okay, so he approaches. So that means there's a kind of a peep here where if I block here, he can connect under. And we want to stay connected, so we're just going to push out. So now if he tries something like this, I believe we can block. And we're just going to keep running out to the center. Yeah, he can get some points here, but he's making this group weaker. And if we continue to get stones here, this is also getting weaker. So it feels like, yeah, he can play here to make some points, but then this is weak. So I'm just going to, as much as he wants to push from behind, I'm just going to keep extending. Because I think it would be greedy for him to jump here. Because we already defended this, so we can just Tanuki and put some pressure on this group, which he doesn't really have a super good way to defend that. Yep, so he does do that. And yeah, so no weak groups, no cutting points, so that means we can fight back. So just going to invade here. And I believe we can extend because if he blocks this way, we can push Hane, and if he cuts, because of this wall here, we can capture or connect. Same with this. I'd rather connect over here than on this side because there's a pushing and cutting here. And if he blocks here, then we probably connect under, but he eventually will have to go back and fix his cut. And we can almost surround him in one move. But he just connects. So we will also connect. He kind of needs to run out here. Okay, so we saved this group. So now all of our groups are connected again. If we look at cutting points, it doesn't really seem like they work. And he still has 2 weak groups. So I think maybe we try and connect to this stone. Not to really save it, but just because this group's a little bit weak and this group's a little bit weak. But we don't want to go too far because then there's cutting points. So we want to try and do this as solid as possible. So we will just do a simple jump here because that's the hardest to cut. And we can do the same. He still can't really connect in one move. Maybe this one works, but there's still some Aji here that he has to worry about. And this group is almost surrounded in one move. So yep, he has to go there. Again, we want to stay connected while keeping him weak. So we're going to not give him any cutting points, and we're not going to let him connect. So we can jump here again, because again, we don't have any cutting points. Okay, so here, I'm not sure what he's going for here. So if we just block, he goes here, we defend, he pushes, we Hane. Maybe he can get an Atari or something over here, but we should kill him first. We can also just block here, but then we have to worry about getting cut off. And we want to stay connected. So killing this stone is pretty important. If we go here, there's a Hane. I'm not sure what that does. So I think I will just extend. Because if he goes here, we just Atari, he connects, and then we capture. And I don't think he can really live in the corner here. Or even if he does live in the corner, the outside's pretty weak. Didn't think he would do that. So now we can almost surround this group. And yep, just play here, because then there's a cut. And then we can cut here. Again, we're not trying to kill this. We're just trying to connect everything. So we don't want to let these cutting points happen. Okay, so if we go here, he just pushes. We don't want to allow that. So yes, he can live. He gets to Atari. Okay. Okay, so he played pretty well here. So he does have a weak group here that we can almost just cut right away. But we have a weak group as well. So we want to try and make this as strong as possible, as quick as possible. So we're just going to try and run out here. And maybe make an eye here. He peeps. Yep, we want to stay connected. And he defends. Okay. So we still have a pretty weak group here. So we're just going to keep trying to run out. And connect to our other strong group. But now I can kind of push through here. He has lots of cutting points. So we'll see what he does. Okay. Well, now everything is connected. And now he's trying to connect as well. Okay. A little bit confusing, but it works. And now we go back and look at if we have any weak groups. So this is all connected, alive. This is all connected, alive. The cutting points don't seem to work yet. This group is pretty strong. So yeah, I think we'll just make some points here, try and connect over here, see what happens. So now he's playing Endgame. So here we're already connected. So we don't have to block here, because if he jumps in, it's only points. Our group is not getting weaker. And he has some points over here that we can reduce. And he has some weak points that we can aim at. So I think I will just peep here. And then we can jump. Because it feels like he needs to connect here. Okay. We have some connection issues here. So I want to see if we can make that a little bit stronger. So yep, I'll go here. Because maybe he can like wedge here, and then there's some cutting points. And we want to make sure all of our cutting points are fixed. And now I can peep here, because again, if we push through, then he's getting weak. And I don't think we can actually push through here. So we made him a little bit stronger here. So now we have to go back and reevaluate things. So he has a wall here now. So does that make this group weaker? And maybe, because there's some peeps here and peeps here. So here I think we can play Endgame while also making this group stronger. So now there's no more peeps or jumps here. So he can only come in from this side, and then we can just block. So this group should be fine. And we have some more big Endgame. I guess we can play here, which is Sensei. This is big, but I think we'll play the Sensei moves first. Maybe there's something in the corner, but we're not going to worry about it. We're just going to keep playing simple moves, start the end game. If we play here and he blocks and he pushes, then we have to be careful about cutting points. So I don't want to do this one just yet. And if he plays here and blocks, then we no longer have to worry about that cutting point. Here's another big endgame move, because then we can play the monkey jump next. And now this is probably the biggest, this one and this one. But this one is probably just a little bit bigger because we're connecting our groups together and everything is getting a little bit stronger. Okay, so yep, he does get the big move, but now we don't have to worry about any cutting points. And he jumps in. Okay, so this Wondon is actually much stronger than some of the other Wondons we've played. Now we just want to stay connected. And we can push. Because if he goes here and we cut him off, then I don't think he can live over here. The main thing is we're pretty much connected over here, so we don't have to worry too much about it. Okay, we want to stay connected, so I will just connect. Okay, he defends the cutting point. Very good. Still a little bit cut off here with no eyes. So I'm curious, if I play here and he goes here, I can push and threaten to cut his whole group off. So if I go here, here, then he can Atari. Maybe it doesn't quite work. So we have to push first. Then I think we can peep here to get rid of eyes. And now if we go here, Atari, he goes here, here. Maybe we lose a stone, but most of it should be connected. And this whole group doesn't exactly have two eyes. And if he extends and we connect, this push through is Sensei. So even if he goes back and defends this group, he still has to worry about this push. Okay, so he Ataris. We'll just go ahead and connect. Because I'm not sure why the Atari. I don't think that really helped him too much. And then we can peep. And this peep's also Sensei, because we can push through. There's a cut on both sides. And now there's some weaknesses here, so we're going to go back and fix our cuts. Because we're not just going to focus on just killing everything. We're going to, if we do kill, we're going to do it while staying solid. Oh, and then he resigns. Okay, seems a bit early, because there is some weaknesses here. I do think there's, I'm not sure what I was going to play here. I probably have to Hane if I want to try and kill. But then there's some pushes and cuts, so it gets a little bit complicated. But yeah, I'm not sure. He played a lot better than the other Wondons we played. So playing a little bit too solid, I think, was kept the game pretty close. I'm not sure if this lives, who's winning or not. But the point really isn't to win. It's just work on strong groups and staying connected and learning about why that's important. But yeah, hopefully you guys found that interesting, and I will see you next time.